Today I'll be talking about phylogenetic trees using different dog breeds. Phylogenetic trees are graphical representations of the degrees of similarity between OTUs. Basically, these trees show us the relatedness between different species. OTU stands for Operational Taxonomic Units. For today, our OTU is going to be different dog breeds. There are some important basic definitions to go over before looking more in depth at phylogenetic trees. First, we have anagenesis, which can be described as evolutionary change over time. It is represented here by this long horizontal line. The longer the horizontal line means the more time a given OTU has had to evolve. We can see that the Chinese crested has a longer line than the Newfoundland, meaning the Chinese crested has had more time to develop and adapt. The next is cladogenesis. This is shown when our tree branches. When our tree branches, that means there was a speciation event. So basically it is when one species diverges and becomes two separate species. The point of where speciation occurs is known as a node. There can be internal nodes, and they represent common ancestors between organisms. The orange circles on my tree demonstrate where the internal nodes are. You can see that in this tree, the boxer and Labrador Retriever both share two common traits in addition to the root, as indicated by the orange circles. In this phylogenetic tree, you can see there is a wide range of dogs present. This is a rooted tree we are looking at, and we can see the differences that have led to divergence between these dog breeds. Rooted trees allow us to determine the most recent common ancestor between species. If we look at our tree, we can see that the Great Pyrenees and Komondor have the most recent common ancestor, which is indicated by these two breeds having the shortest lines between each other. Most recent common ancestors allow us to determine when divergence between species happened. We also have an outgroup, which is a big indicator of rooted trees. The outgroup of our tree is the Chinese crested dog breed because it is the most distantly related to our other dog breeds on the tree. The Chinese crested roots our tree. It is important to understand that this breed is still related to our phylogeny, even though it does not have the specific characteristics and classifications that are represented on this tree. Looking at this tree, we can see that cladogenesis occurs multiple times and leads to divergence between the different breeds. The characteristic of having fur led to the Chinese crested becoming the outgroup because it was the only breed that is hairless in comparison to the other dogs. From there, you can see we have the Yorkie, which has fur, but there is another branching in the tree because the Yorkie does not shed. Next, we have the Boxer and Labrador Retriever. Both of these dogs shed and also share another common trait in that they are both hunting dogs. These dog breeds diverge even more due to the next common characteristic being long fur, which leads us to the Border Collie. Cladogenesis occurs again, excluding the Border Collie, because the next common trait is that the dogs are at least 80 pounds. This divergence leads to the Newfoundland and St. Bernard dog breeds, which share another common trait that is more specific in that they are both greater than 100 pounds. Cladogenesis occurs once again to further speciate these breeds by the characteristic of having all white fur, which leads us to the Great Pyrenees and Komondor. That wraps up our phylogenetic trees, and I hope this video helps in your understanding.